Hi, okay, so today I want to talk about food again, of course. Food is such a huge topic, diet is such a huge topic. And today I want to talk about doing the best you can and why there is something wrong with every food. So, looking for the exact perfect diet, searching and searching, and it's if you keep looking, you will find something wrong with every food. And it drives me crazy. I have driven myself crazy and back trying to figure it all out. And it's not easy because you think you know the perfect diet and then you read something and it throws you off kilter and you totally go back to square one, reevaluating everything again. So I just want to talk to you about what's wrong with every food. So let's just get it out there. So first we want to start with dairy. Okay, so everybody says, dairy's horrible for you. It causes inflammation, it causes allergies, it causes all these things. The lactose is not easily absorbed, But then on the other hand, you have all these people saying that kefir and cultured yogurts and these kind of products, when they're fermented, they're amazing for your health. They heal the lining of your gut. And so you're like, well, which one is it, right? And then we move on to things like grains. Okay, so grains. Grains are the devils. They, all the books from Grain Brain to Wheat Belly, all these things. The gluten containing, in all the grains and everything that's cross-reactive to gluten, and all the molecules that look like it and all the different grains. Plus they have phytates in them, which are hard to break down. So everyone's like, stay away from grains. They cause allergies. They're hard to absorb. They're not good for you. But then you think about it, and some of the longest cultures in our world have lived on grains exclusively. They're cheap. Once we had agriculture and we learned how to have grains, that's all people had. Sometimes people had an entire diet based on grains. Now, mind you, the type of grains they were eating then are different than the type of grains we're eating now. They weren't mass produced, they weren't GMO, but yet they were able to tolerate them, and now we're not. Maybe because the glyphosate that they're spraying on the crops, maybe because the strains are different, but for whatever reason, there you have it, the good and bad of grains. Moving on, we move on to fruit. Okay, so fruit is it's wonderful. It's given to us by nature. It has tons of vitamins and minerals, and it's full of water, and it's sweet and juicy, and all these phytochemicals and everything, and the colors, and it's amazing. It is given to us by God, and we are meant to eat it. But on the other hand, you have everybody saying fruit is high in sugar, don't eat fruit, try not to eat any sugar, sugar is the devil, even sugar that comes from fruit. Like it could contribute to cancer, it can contribute to diabetes, it can contribute to all these things. Definitely look at the index, the glycemic load of fruit. Don't eat anything high in sugar. Just eat, a little bit of lemon, a half a slice of apple. Don't dare eat anything like pineapple or watermelon But yet people have existed on fruit for centuries, and people have cured their diabetes and their cancer eating all fruit, which makes no sense. So there you have, again, the good and bad of fruit. So moving on to something like, let's see what's next, vegetables. Oh, vegetables. So vegetables, everybody can agree that vegetables, a plant-based diet, and all the wonderful vegetables are amazing for us. We need the vitamins, the minerals, the phytochemicals, everything in these plants that are giving us life and giving us health and vibrancy. But yet, there is a bad side to vegetables, and people will find it. And when I was raw vegan, I was like, vegetables are the answer. They can cure everything. They can cure cancer. They can cure diabetes. They can cure everything. Get rid of all the other foods. But then you hear about dun, 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 oxalates, and oxalates are like giving people kidney stones. They're binding up. They can bind up in any organ, in your brain, in your bloodstream. They can cause and wreak havoc on your health. So it is said. you know, it can really damage your health. And oxalates are found in some of the best foods that people say are the best nutrient foods on earth, like leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, beet greens. All these dark, leafy, bitter greens are full of oxalates. And you know, it's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me that we can hear that they're amazing and they can cure everything, and yet they can be the worst destroying things for our health. So that's what I mean, how it can totally play with you and confuse you. Meat. Stay away from meat. Meat causes cancer. It causes breakdown. It's acidic. You know, it causes breakdown of the body. It leads to all kinds of disease. But on the other hand, you have people in the paleo community and everything's saying meat's wonderful. You need the amino acids from meat. You need all the fat from the meat. You need bone broth. You need everything to come out of the bones, all the wonderful aminos and glycine from the bone broth, everything. You need all this stuff in your diet. The collagen will enrich your bones and your skin. You know, so on one hand, meat is full of toxins, and on the other hand, meat and bone broths and all these things are necessary, vital components to building muscle and to being alive and to having good, strong, healthy joints and bones and skin. So, you know, sure, we definitely want to eliminate our toxic load. We don't want to be eating farm-fed, factory-fed beef or meat or anything like this. But, I mean, paleo ancestors have been eating meat for their entire life. So how can meat be the cure of all evil and all disease when it goes back in history as far as possible? This is what gave us our big brains. This is what contributed to us being human and us living the life that we do. So there we have meat. You know, moving on to nuts and seeds. Oh, nuts and seeds and legumes. Oh, let's talk about legumes. So legumes, paleo's like, don't eat legumes. You can't eat legumes on paleo. But yet, if you look at the blue zones, the longest living people and cultures in the world that have been studied eat beans every single day. That is the one common food that all the blue zones have in common, is at least a cup of beans every single day. Beans and legumes. So, you know, they have lots of different problems to help you not be able to break them down. You know, and so that's why people say soak your beans. You know, you want to get the phytates out of your beans. You want to soak them overnight. You want to make sure that they're sprouted to release some of that toxin before you eat them, which is a good idea. But on the one hand, we have the longest living cultures in the world eating and thriving on beans every day. And on the other hand, we have people saying that you definitely can't break down what's in beans. They're anti-nutrients. They steal vital minerals from your bones. When you eat beans, it's stealing things like magnesium and calcium and all the minerals that we need. And it's working as an anti-nutrient. So same with nuts. Nuts are full of phytates. A lot of people, again, recommend soaking and sprouting them. You have the nut butters, and again, peanut butter is more of a legume than a nut, but these are the things. I mean, nuts, they said, are amazing for your brain. They have high omega-3 and omega-6 and things that we need in them. They're amazing for longevity. They've been studied the world over. Every study that talks about nuts talks about the benefits of nuts in a person's diet. And nuts and seeds, how amazing they are. But at the same time, they're hard to break down. They have phytates. You have to soak them. They give you too much fat. Some people say it's good fat. Some people say it's bad fat. Some people say it's too much omega-6. Don't eat them. They're hard to break down. And so the controversy on nuts exists. And it's one of the healthiest foods that have been studied, yet people will find something wrong with that as well. They have a lot of allergens with them. They're one of the least tolerated foods on food tests and food sensitivity tests, aside from milk and eggs. Oh, let's talk about eggs. So yeah, eggs are one of the most whole, amazing, natural foods that there is. They're full of choline, which you can't get anywhere else. They're, you know, the yolk is like super full of, it's like a superfood. It's full of so many wonderful vital nutrients. It's one of the most dense foods on earth, yet people are having allergic reactions to them, and people are saying eggs cause high cholesterol, which some people say you need a lot of cholesterol, and some people say cholesterol is the devil. So, some people are saying stay away from eggs. They cause high cholesterol. They cause allergies. It's not good for you. Man wasn't meant to eat all these eggs. And then you have other people saying eggs are amazing. They're the best whole vitamin type food there is. They're loaded with choline. You need the eggs. Eat eggs every day. So again, and then it gets even more confusing. People talk about high histamine foods and low histamine foods. So there's a lot of foods that are within those subgroups, like fermented foods, for instance, are super high in histamine, which cause all kinds of, symptoms and pain and allergic reactions. But at the same time, other people will say, fermented foods are the best kinds of foods for healing your gut, sealing your gut lining, getting probiotics into your system, getting your bacteria culture right in your gut, which will heal everything. So you don't know whether, eating the cultured vegetables and eating all those amazing pickled and cultured vegetables are causing you histamine reaction, which are causing your symptoms to worsen, or whether they're actually healing your gut and giving you wonderful probiotics. And it's, so histamine, a lot of people eat low histamine, which are across the board in all kinds of foods. Even bananas and avocados have histamine in them. So, then they're on the bad list. Same with oxalates. People are talking about eating a low oxalate diet. People are talking about eating a low meat diet, a vegan diet, a high fat diet, a low fat diet. It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's insane. It's insanity. It's so hard for anybody to navigate and to come to a decision about diet, because there is the good and bad of everything. So I just want to sum this up by giving you my thoughts and saying yes, yes, yes. The first rule is we need to eat. We need to eat food. Make peace with eating food, and please do not think of all the bad in all the food that you're eating, because your thoughts are powerful. We need to eat. You have to make peace with eating. You have to say, I'm going to do the best I can with the diet that I feel resonates with me the best, and I'm going to let the rest go. I'm going to do the best I can based on the research and the knowledge that I have, that I've gathered, and I'm going to let the rest go, because you can drive yourself crazy, and you will. So the first thing is make peace with the fact that you have to eat. You have to nourish your cells, nourish your body. Nourishing your body is the most important thing. It needs to get vitamins, minerals, nutrients, water, energy, calories. It has to get all those amazing things in all the varied foods for you to live and thrive and feel amazing. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is variety is key. Concentrate and focus on the foods that you feel are the best. I personally feel that